Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new Crispy 182 video. And in the last video you will remember that we worked on the back of the T5 Caravelle, and today we are moving on to the final section, which is the front of the van. And the first thing we're going to be fitting is a new gear stick gaiter, purely because the old one has sort of started to deteriorate. I'll show you some little pictures now, but it started to deteriorate. It's starting to like get tears in it. It doesn't exactly look ideal, and so we're changing it out for a nice new one. Now this is like an aftermarket one, it isn't OEM, but it looks good enough and it will do the job for now, especially as it's still being used partially as a work van, so we don't want to make it look too perfect. Okay, without further ado, let's get this fitted and then we can move on to the other things that we've got, a bit like a steering wheel trim and a screw. Alright, let's do this. This is step number one of this challenge, was to remove the cap, and then it's to take the little screw that holds the actual gaiter to the body of the van and all the mechanical parts. Now once we've managed to remove that, we can eventually start looking for the new one and try and line this up. So it's got to line up the same way as the old one because the clips have a certain way of going in to be secure. This took a bit of time to work out because, well, there's teething issues, things don't line up, it's an aftermarket part, it's not OEM, so they're going to have some slightly different things. But eventually we managed to sort of get it to go on, but I just got to clip it in and make sure it looks flush with the bodywork and actually looks decent as well, without picking up when you try and change it. Again, a lot of teething issues here. Once it goes in properly for once, we can then start to put all the screws back on. We did have a few issues though that I did find, where the spring actually in the new gear stick wouldn't release back out, so the actual piece that you use like to pull up to go into reverse would just not drop down, as my dad's going to explain in a second. Do you want to explain what happened?
Yeah, so we just put the new gear lever on. When we tried it, the actual put the clutch down for the moment. When I put it into reverse, that was fine, but as soon as we came back out, the gaiter on the reverse didn't drop back down, it stayed where it was. After a bit of faffing around and trying to work out, I decided to lengthen the spring slightly, because this might have been just a fraction longer than the original one that was actually on the van. By making it slightly longer, probably another 10 mil longer, that spring, the actual gaiter now releases and goes up and down. And before it was getting stuck and I had to manually push it down.
So it's done. Okay, today is a very exciting day because we are installing a new multimedia head unit for the T5. So obviously, as you can see, still got the original one from 2007 in it, and it started to sort of fail. And for the last few years, every time you go over a pothole, it either decides it's going to turn itself off and not turn back on for a while, or turn on, and you sort of have to punch it to get it to work. So we're replacing it with a nice new one. Now this is a special sort of one. It's been sort of like hand built, but it's good because it's got not only Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, like a lot of them have these days, which didn't really fit the criteria. It's still got a CD player. It's still got like its own sort of, I suppose, operating system with its own sat nav and all of that. And so you don't have to use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, because my dad doesn't use them. So we just wanted something that, but maybe, you know, I could use in the future, sort of future-proofs it, but also that my dad can use currently when he doesn't want to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You don't have to get your phone at all. So we're going to be getting that in today. It's going to be a pretty good job, I suppose. That's sort of our first upgrade, and it's going to really sort of modernise this interior quite a bit. We've got some other bits and bobs to do. Obviously we've done the gear stick, so we've got the steering wheel wrap, door actuator, and this to do. And yeah, that is going to be this video. This is going to be a great video because we're finally working on the front, and I think this is just going to make this van look so much better. Top tier, if you will. Alright, let's do this. This job did turn out to not be as easy as we thought it would be. So obviously the first thing to do was to put the keys in to remove our head unit. Now it slides out and it's just on rails, which makes it nice and easy, but that's the misleading part. It's never actually easy. And so what we had to do was remove all the cables, get the old head unit out, and then pull the cables as far out as possible so we had as much access as possible to everything We also removed one of the buttons on the dash to connect our new 12 volt to, so when we turn the van off, the screen turns off with it, otherwise it's going to drain the battery if we forget to turn it off. I'm currently editing the video and you may be wondering, why is there no footage of us installing the head unit? Now this is a fun story. So we started installing it and it just would not slide in, although it's an OEM fit. For some reason things weren't working, so we called in the help of our neighbour, who came around originally to sort out the electrics of wiring up to the button, but there wasn't quite enough space for the cable or the wire on the button to connect to, so splice to, and the little Scotch rocks would not connect. Now after that, 7 hours after that, maybe 8, he only came around for like a 10-minute job. About 7 or 8 hours after that, my dad and him finally managed to slightly install it, but obviously didn't record it because 7 or 8 hours of footage isn't going to work out well. And it was really just, it wasn't going well at all, and it was a long day. But eventually we managed to get it in, which you'll see in the next clip. And then my dad had to go back the next day to, finish up with the teething issues and make sure everything fits completely flush, which I'm going to show you after the next clip. Alright, hope that clears some things up. Sorry there's not a time lapse of it, but if there was, you'd be here for about 7 hours. Alright, enjoy the next part of the clip. Alright, so as you can see, the head unit is working. We've had to change of plan rather than record another time lapse, because we've probably got too many time lapses in this video, or in this series anyway. We're going to keep that out. But as you can see, it's working. We've got our Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Back on the home page, we've also obviously got our sort of apps and everything working, Bluetooth, phone, all of that. Got your GPS. We can go back obviously through this, so home page, and then here somewhere you got your radio. As you can see, I have to mute it, but you got your radio working. As you can see, it's playing music. I would play it, but thingy. So the speakers are working. Everything's connected up, so my dad's going to fit it tomorrow, and then yeah, I'll show you everything when it's done, show you how it fits. We go do a full tour of the new system. On to the next thing. Right, so as you can see, back in the van, and the screen is fully installed. As you can see, it sort of lines up now. Around the edges, it looks a lot better. Took the cover off, it's a bit dusty. There you go, look at that, it's looking great. And you may be wondering, Apple CarPlay. Well, just click down here. So it has to wait a little bit, sort itself out. Central locking still needs fixed on the van. Haven't fixed it, but here we go. CarPlay, bingo! Look at that, brilliant. Look at that, CarPlay installed. Has got Android Auto as well, which is good. And obviously your home screen, we got our navigation and all of that, and all the cool apps. But yeah, everything there is now done, and that is looking absolutely brilliant. The gear stick is looking brilliant as well, as you can see. Everything works. See, fix that. So that's good. This is always nice. Everything's working there. We picked this screen here, and this like design for the screen because it's the easiest one to use. For my dad, and it looks the most classy. So that's that. Got a couple more things to install in the van in the next episode, and I think there's like another episode after that, and then that is pretty much it. I hope you all did enjoy the video. If you did, remember to leave a like, subscribe, you know the rest. Everything else touch a million times, I am sure. And yeah, see you in the next one.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and let's get it up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.